What just happened? Were we all able to see one of the greatest comebacks in the history of the WNBA? Or was it just another one of the team's bad games? At the time when Indiana Fever was almost out of the game, Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell came up with a script that nobody could ever have anticipated. Picture this: you are in a team. The team is at the losing end. The audience is tensed. The victory seems to have sneaked away from the team. But then, like clockwork, Clark makes back-to-back three-pointers as if it was in her sleep. And when you thought that the fireworks are over, Kelsey Mitchell comes in and says, "Hold my water," and proceeds to hit another 3 points. It was the Fever that came back into the game, and not just that, they took over the reins. That's 64 total points, 3-pointers made in 5 occasions for each of them, and the most lethal partnership of the season. Wait a minute, this is not just a one-game affair. This is a statement. This is a team that was considered to be a mess at the beginning of the season. And now, it's driving teams crazy on the road, and they are winning games like it's an everyday thing. Can this be the start of the next generation of a WNBA powerhouse? Can Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell take the Indiana Fever all the way to the playoffs and make everyone an upset again? Stay with me because I am explaining how this David and Goliath story is playing out, and believe me, it's not done yet. I am referring to the match between the Indiana Fever and the Dallas Wings, which was in the last quarter of the game. Sometimes the game seems like it is slowly slipping away, and that is when Caitlin Clark steps up. Clark then came through with 2 3-pointers in a row as if it was just another practice drill in her backyard, as time was of essence and the game was on the line. All of a sudden, it was not a problem of the Fever's ability to come from behind and win the game, but a problem of how they could go about doing this. In the attack, 3 players scored at least 10 points, and Caitlin Clark is once again making a 3-pointer look very simply. But just as you think that she is through, Kelsey Mitchell comes in and swipes the limelight back from her. It is there, a buried 3 that gets the crowd excited. It wasn't just that the Fever was back. No, they were back, and they were laser-focused. It was as if they had hit a destruct button. But that's not all, folks. There is more. Clark finishes the night with numbers that are insane for a rookie. 28 points, 12 assists, and 4 rebounds. He also made 5 3-pointers. Kelsey Mitchell? She scored 36 less points, 6 rebounds, and equaled Clark 5 3-pointers. It was like the Fever had 2 unstoppable forces on the court. And Dallas was clueless on how to stop them. This wasn't a one-off. The Fever are coming off the back of a victory against the Corcio Chicago Sky with Angel Reese, in which they played well on the opponent's court. Now, they've done it again against the Wings or whatever. This is no fluke. The Fever, who was considered an underdog at the start of the new season, are eating everyone's words at the moment. Let's go a little bit more in depth why exactly this performance is considered as one of the greatest in the history. Caitlin Clark, the freshman who is acting like a veteran on the court. This in and of itself is impressive, 28 points. But 12 assists? That's because she doesn't only know how to shoot, but also knows how to lift her team up. Clark has got one of the best court visions I have ever seen in a basketball player. It is stressing defenses to the extent because Clark is creating categories that have not been there before. She's almost cheating in a way. It's like she is breaking some of the predefined norms of the game. And there is also the Kelsey Mitchell. 36 points. Her hand was on fire. She was not only shooting, she was also rebounding for 6 times. To show that she is not only capable on the court. When you have 2 players who are capable of scoring from the 3-point line like Clark and Mitchell, how do you contain that? They are the Splash sisters of the WNBA, and now they made history as the first duo of sisters to be drafted into the prestigious league. 64 combined points. That is more than half of the total number of the team. We have to mention Clark's 12 assists. So let's not forget about that. Apart from her points, she is generating an inexhaustible number of chances for her teammates. This is the aspect that is making the Fever one of the toughest teams to beat in the league. This pair is quite in sync in a manner that one would be forgiven for thinking that they are a part of the same team for a season. The two of them have good high-court vision. And Mitchell has Becca's aggressiveness, which is what any coach would love to have in his team and a nightmare for the opponents. However, here is the most interesting part of it. This is not a single game. It's a good thing that the Fever is now on a roll. Well, let's discuss road wins. The Fever didn't just earn close shave victories over the Chicago Sky and Dallas Wings. They totally overpowered them. This is the second consecutive road victory for the Fever, and in the WNBA, this is not an easy thing to achieve. Each win is sending a clear message, Astra, to the rest of the league. The Indiana Fever is not the kind of team that you can just walk over and think you will get an easy victory over them. That is why when you look at your schedule now and you see the Fever, you know that it won't be an easy game. That is why. Coach Christy Sides Cass is at the center of this metamorph. The change that she has brought in this team is incredible. In the beginning of the season, the Fever seemed to be just playing the hood, but now they are playing well-coordinated, team-oriented basketball. Again, it is not only a matter of attack either. The off-defense has become more intense. Players like Alexi Hullan are giving their all in order to get the ball. The defense of the team is so important in this team, and now it has been taken to the next level in the team. That being the case, what is in the offing for the Fever? Using this new branding, the Fever is now starting to appear as a team that is ready for playoffs. They have surpassed all the expectations, though. Now they are playing like a team that can surprise everyone. Clark and Mitchell are proving to be an unstoppable force, and the confidence of the team is soaring. But let's not forget that they are doing this while learning how to win. Those close games, which is going to be very important in playoffs. They're free, they're not scared, they're sure, and that is very dangerous. A couple more victories and they are going to be firmly in the playoffs contention. By now, the Fever are no longer that team that everybody thought will take time to rebuild. He said, they're going to create some problems in the playoffs. The scariest part? It is only the beginning. This is an exciting time for the future of the team with Clark, Mitchell, and a rising squad. It could be the development of a new WNBA dynasty. It does not matter whether the Fever are the underdogs or the playoff favorites. The Fever are here to stay. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think limits or possibilities does Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell have in this team? Will they make it to the finals? Please leave a comment. And of course, if you want to be notified with every epic game, don't forget to subscribe and enable the notification. The following is not something you would want to miss.